if you're a creative person, go around creative people and be in a place that inspires raw creativity. If you're a scientific person, if you're like analytical and like that's the thing that you want to do, that's where your kind of like innate abilities lie. Go around people who are like that. Go around thinkers. Go around people who sit and like develop data for the sake of iteration, for the sake of like proving whether something or not is true, right? For me, I've really struggled with that because my problem has been that I'm very unclear on who I am, or I have been unclear on who I am, and I'm trying to provide myself clarity, myself some confidence as to who that person is. Because in the past, I've really known who I am. And as I've gotten older, I've had a lot of influences, a lot of people kind of, in my life as adults, in my life as friends, as mentors, also like just on the internet, right? Like the fucking sheer amount of noise that you get is like very hard to cipher it out and like get signal from that. It's like, it's very difficult to kind of really know who you are unless you have like the most profound evidence as to who you are, right? And so for me, it's like I've been collecting that for myself recently because I'm fucking done. I am done not liking things. Like I'm done waking up and dreading the day that I have ahead of me and being excited to go to bed, because I think that the number one indicator of anything in your life is how excited you are to go to bed and how much you don't want to wake up. Because if the answer to any of those is zero, or if the answer to any of those is yes, then you're wrong. Because you should never want to go to bed and you should never not want to wake up. It's like, remember when we were like 8 years old and you never wanted to go to bed? It was always like one more, right? Like one more episode of a show, or like one more coloring book, or one more like playing with your cousins or your friends or whatever the fuck. Like that was the most joyous, the most like pure raw joy, like living life without thinking about anything other than what's exactly happening at that moment that any of us will ever experience. And that's just a fact of the world, which sucks, but it's also beautiful because in retrospect you get to see that and then compare it to everything else. So it's like, it's great to be able to understand that. But it should tell you that ultimately, if you're happy, you don't want to go to bed and you do want to wake up. And so the number one measurement of my life for me, and something that I like to say to other people, is to always look at like those two metrics and measure your success by that. Like, how well are you doing in life? Like when someone says, how are you doing? I say, well, I'm excited to wake up every morning and I don't want to go to bed. And it's like, those are two things that not only are they like powerful to put out there, because I think that it reinforces it, like this law of attraction, this law of reinforcement by like, when you confidently say something, it's going to come back to you. Like when you truly believe it and then you speak it, it comes back in a tangible, conscious form to you. But it also just like, it really does help spread that to other people. And it helps show other people that like, I don't, like that the number one thing that you should be is joyous in the thing that you're doing. But let me kind of reframe that a little bit, because I want to be clear about one thing. I detest and think this whole idea of like self-help and just being happy in life is fucking stupid. If your goal in life is to just be happy, I think that is totally ridiculous, because, well, it's not totally ridiculous, but like you can go do that and just like, eat carrots on an island in the middle of Bottega, right? And like that's your life, and that's fine. If you want to do that, that's totally okay. Actually, you know what? I should probably rephrase that. Because but I want to reframe that because I want to make like one thing really, really clear. So, a lot of people talk about this like, just live for yourself, right? Be happy for yourself. Live your life happy. Like as long as you're happy, then everything will be okay, and like that's all that really matters in life. From my experience, that's kind of bullshit, because I've been around people and like lived a life where responsibility always takes precedence over everything else. And sometimes you don't get to be happy because there's something else that's keeping you from doing that. And now sometimes that responsibility is something that's by choice, right? Like your job, your career, another person in your life who you have like devoted, like, your wife or your husband who you've like devoted yourself to. And so like sometimes they come before you do. And sometimes that responsibility is not something that you choose. Sometimes it's, like a sick child that you have to care for before yourself. Sometimes it's, I don't know, maybe you have like a sick child is the best thing I can think of, whatever. Anyways, so I don't always think that you can live entirely independently for yourself in this little world of a bubble of a world that just revolves around you and nothing else exists, because that's just not reality. And I do think that like the most valuable thing that a person can do in their life is contribute to society in a way that like benefits other people and isn't just always benefiting them, right? So while yes, it's important to be happy in the things that you do, you have to try and find things that you can be happy at doing that also benefit others, right? Because it's like if murdering people makes you happy, well, that's not fucking productive. But if being a doctor makes you happy, well, that's a pretty good thing to be happy doing, right? So it's like you got to kind of find the balance, find the equilibrium state, that flow, that yin-yang between the two things that, like, you know, you want to do that makes you happy, but is also contributing to the greater good of the fucking world. Because I don't know if you care anything about, like, what you're doing on this planet before you die. It's like, it really is all about the impact that you leave for and on other people. It's not really about what you do for yourself. Because the thing that you do for yourself, the problem with that is that it's finite. That once you're gone, then it's gone. And it's like, sure, you lived a great, fantastic life, but it's like, you know, I know some people personally who like have really like provided and changed other people's lives. And that has been their life's work. And sure, they've been depressed and had really difficult lives, but like ultimately it's like they leave and it's like thousands of people are better off because of that person. And that's such a beautiful thing to be able to do for other people, and also to feel about yourself, like to know that you're someone who like helped other people out and who like made a real difference in the world and didn't just make like a stack of cash and then fucking honk their hog all day and then fucking drop dead, right? It's like, it's really great to be able to see the fruits of your labors in a way that is also producing them for other people, and will do that over like a long period of time that provides longevity for you, your family, your friends, fucking strangers, who cares? So yeah, but it is really about kind of finding clarity on who you are and knowing who you are. I think that is like the ultimate thing, is that like if you can actually know who you are, like what are the things that I'm good at, what are the things that I love to do, who are the people in my life that I care about, and what are the things that I like to do in my life that I care about, and you know, how do I make that into something that like makes me want to fucking wake up every morning? Again, back to this is just like, it's such a profound idea to me that I just like feel is so simple but has so much power, because it's just like, how badly do you want to get up and be in this fucking world every single day? Because look at it, right? Like, it's objectively beautiful. Unless you're blind, then it's objectively black. But like, you know, it really is all about that, and that truly is, I think, in my opinion, the greatest metric to measure anything by. So start there. I think that's where I started, was that I was in a place where I didn't have that. Where every morning I woke up and I was like, I don't want to be awake right now. And every night I went to bed, I was like, thank fuck. I'm so excited to sit and watch a fucking episode of Avatar before I go to bed for 30 minutes so that I can forget about my whole day and then conk out for 8 hours and then wake back up and do all this bullshit again. It's like, what kind of a fucking life is that? What kind of a life is that? It's not one. You're better off 6 feet underground. Then you just be sleeping the whole time. And if that's what you look forward to anyways during the day, you might as well just fucking do yourself in. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's not advice. Don't do that. You know, so it's like, there really is so much out there. There's so many fucking good things out there, and I really do think that like intrinsically every single person has like something that they can do that is great. It's just like a matter of finding it. And putting yourself in a place to find it, putting yourself near people who are also looking for something that is similar to what you're looking for. Not people who are looking for things. Because if I'm looking for a rock and you're looking for, not people who are looking for not people who are just looking for things. They have to be looking for similar things, right? Because if I'm looking for a blade of grass and you're looking for a grain of sand, we're in two different places. But just, you know, find a dude who's looking for a flower while you're looking for a piece of grass. And it's like, well, now you guys go in the field together. And it's like, this is great. You know, I might not find my fucking blade of grass, but at least this dude's here and he doesn't have his fucking flower either. So we're both idiots. But yeah, listen, no bullshit. There's a lot of negativity in the world. And a lot of things are really, really, really hard. And, you know, life can kind of sit you on your ass sometimes and, like, beat the fucking shit out of you. And just be like, you suck. right? But it's kind of normal to feel like a loser. It's kind of normal to be like, I don't really have anything going for me. It's kind of normal to wake up and be like, the life around me is not something that I've constructed purposely for myself. But then the thing to do after that is to think, how do I now change that? How do I make it something that I actually want, not something that other people have told me to want? And so when you find that clarity for yourself, it's like, then you'll find the real beauty in things. And I feel really bad because I've been in a place that like everything is just dark and everything fucking sucks. And I know that there's people that struggle with that. Like I know that there's people who really struggle with that. And the closer that I get with like, facing real problems like addiction and loss and like that kind of stuff, it's the more that like I look at these things and I'm like, oh my God, like these things actually can't just be solved by like shrugging it off. Like the concept of addiction to me was so foreign until I had a couple close encounters with it and was like, I now see, like why it's not just a conversation to be had and then it's done, right? Like it's not, it's so ingrained in someone's personality and their life, in the way that they interact with the world around them, that like it's not something that's like it's not something that's superficial like that. Like it's a really deep kind of intrinsic part of them, and it takes rooting out, right? Like it's taking out weeds. You got to pull it by the roots. You can't just grasp at the leaves. And if you're a person like that, like if you really do struggle with something, obviously like talk to someone and whatever, but like ultimately the change won't be made unless you make it for yourself. And I think the first thing to do when you're trying to change your life, when you're really trying to change your life to be happier, to have a goal, to have something to work towards, to just want to be alive, that's such a shitty way to put it, but like when you're trying to make yourself want to be alive, right? Like when that's your goal, when your goal is to want to be alive, the first thing that you should do is show yourself why it's worth being alive. And that's like nature. That's like friends, that's like family, that's like love, that's like music, that's like movies, that's like books, that's like video games, it's like laughter, it's like even crying. It's like all of these things. It's like, what are the things that really like make every fucking 24 hours worth it? Right? And so find that and show it to yourself. Show yourself that all of these things are worth it, and that the healthier you are mentally and physically, the more that you can experience these things, and just the better that your fucking life is, man. Because I'm so sick of looking at people who are just like depressed and have some kind of like flaw in like addiction or whatever, and just like not being able to help them, because like you have to help yourself. But it's like, lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. I'm gonna show you the sunset because it's a beautiful fucking orange, but it's your choice as to whether or not you open your eyes and look at it. And so yeah, that's it. Show yourself the beauty in things. Find it. It's out there. It's out there too. You're a bum. You gotta just go find it. But it's there.